Here's Corin. Just arriving at Ryan's place after doing a little street art. We're gonna have a barbecue-age barbecue. I'm not gonna wear my reflective vest. Barbecue, I promise you that. Let's get this sucker. Oh, my legs. My legs. My dogs is barking. All right, let's go have a barbecue. Alright, let's go see if anybody's home. It seems really quiet. I'm hoping I got the right address. That would be embarrassing. Oh, Winston. Oh. Was it? Hello? Knock, knock? A lot of ankle biters in there, I think. Gonna get eaten alive by ankle biters. I wonder if I should check the address.
You should check the address. I said 120.
Hello?
Hi, look at Ryan. Oh, this is what, we're in the right place? Look, ankle biters.
Yes.
All right.
Hi, how are
I'm Jillian.
you? Lovely to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi guys. It's okay. Let's see, he's on the grill right now as we speak. Hi, little fellas.
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Just like it.
Hi, how are you? I'm Corin. Nice to meet you. What's up, brother?
Nice to meet you, man.
Look at this. Oh, boy.
What's up, man?
How y'all doing?
Let's get a close up of that. Look at that. Ooh.
It's almost ready. We're about to throw the corn on.
We're gonna throw the corn on next. What do you say, man?
Hey.
What's up, yo? We're gonna get to know this guy. You want to talk after dinner or before
We
dinner?
can talk after dinner.
Or before it needs to be.
I think maybe before. Otherwise, we'll be passed out.
That's true. Okay.
So, this is Ryan. We're gonna be chatting with him in a minute, and we'll be getting back to you. And we're rolling. All right.
Why be too distracting?
As long as you're not making noise over there. So long as that grunting and groaning. Scott's over here. He's doing some arm workouts with some weights that were sitting around back here. We apologize. The neighbors are having a good time back here, and we're just going to let them have a good time, enjoy themselves as they should be, while I hang out here with my man. The way I like to start this is what is the name that your parents gave you when you were born?
Ryan Albright.
Ryan Albright. Did they have a nickname for you?
My mom would call me Ryan O.
Ryan-O?
Ryan O.
Ryan O.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but Albright is spelled with an O. But
It's
I was thinking.
well, it's ALBRECHT, not the RI.
Oh, okay. And what's the heritage on You look Scottish as hell to me, but
So we actually a few Christmases ago we did what is it, the Ancestry.com or 23andMe?
Oh, you did. Okay.
I can't. I know they're the same thing. They're just different companies. I
You
think
put your
it's-
DNA in the
Yeah,
system. Now Big
yeah.
Brother has it.
Well,
No,
they've
I
had
didn't.
my fingerprint.
They have it anyway.
They've had my fingerprint since I've worked at a couple of banks.
Oh, okay,
So
gotcha,
they've
gotcha.
had me for a while. So yeah, it's Irish and German
Okay.
mostly.
Yeah.
But they don't break it down like that. It's like European and.
Right. Exactly.
But that's where the main regions are from. So mostly German and Irish.
Yeah.
There may be a little Scottish in there.
Well, yeah. Well, Irish, the
Yeah,
Scottish, that whole
yeah.
the clans that were up in that area for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Like 1% Jewish.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, 1%.
Well, I have on my dad's side. We go back. We're a Hungarian Gypsy.
Okay.
And then on my mom's side, Scottish and also French.
Yeah.
French Huguenot now, where were you born?
Victoria, Texas.
Victoria, Texas.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours southwest, I think.
What kind of place was it? What was it like?
It's a small town. Well, not small town. It's I think it's about 150,000,
Oh,
like that.
that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up, we moved around all over Texas because my mom was a nursing home administrator, and my mom and dad split up, kind of like when you said
Yeah.
split up when you were
One. Yeah.
I think it was about 2 or 3 when my parents split up. So my mom was a LVN, and then she was a nursing home administrator. So her job, I mean,
Yeah.
we moved all around Texas, you name it. Houston, San Antonio, Victoria, Hallettsville, Del Rio.
Oh wow.
In fact, my wife.
It was like you were like a military mom almost.
Kinda. I did get sent to military school.
Oh, you did. Which one did you go to?
The Marine Military Academy in Harlingen.
Oh, you went to that one. How was it?
Uh-huh.
Tough.
Yeah, it was rough. It was very rough. But I met, one of the moves we went to Del Rio, and that's the border town. It's where I met my wife at 7th
Really?
grade.
Oh, in 7th grade?
Mm-hmm. And then after 7th
kidding.
grade, I was, got sent to military school, and we didn't see each other for 20 years.
Now, why did you get sent to military school?
Uh-huh.
Were you a troublemaker? I was a troublemaker for sure growing up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, rules kind of presented challenges, not limits.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and I wish I could say I got better in military school, but it didn't. But
So in a way, you were the Parker Lewis of your day.
no, I got caught.
Oh, you got caught.
I got caught.
But Parker always got caught. He just got out of it
I
somehow.
didn't. That's why I got sent to military school. But no, we hadn't seen each other for like 20 some odd years, and then I think it was the fall of 2011.
Yeah.
My best friend, who I also met in 7th grade, he said, "Hey, here she is on Facebook." And I sent her a message, and then we started talking, and by the end of the year, we were, dating.
Wow, that's awesome. That's such a beautiful story. Do you think that having gone to military school and been sent there for a reason, do you think in the long run it was the right move?
I did not see it for a long time, but I understand why my mom had to do it.
Yeah.
She didn't want to, but she had to.
But do you think also that now as an adult that some of what you learned, the discipline and all of that was probably forced on you for
It was about a year and a half, yeah.
do you think that you've actually used some of what you've learned in life?
Yeah, all through the jobs that I had, that came in handy. I was really big on punctuality and getting there and doing a good job. So, yeah, I would say it was definitely helpful, in doing all that.
But you weren't interested in going into the military after that, huh?
No, just because. And it's funny, when I was younger, I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to move around because we moved around so much growing up. And then when I got older, I moved around.
Right.
So I ended up doing what we did when I was growing up, and I
Really?
realized it was just like my mom. So.
Wow. But at least you were ready for it.
That's true, I was.
I've moved around a lot too. My mom did quite a bit of moving around when me and my sister were growing up, and it was we at least every year and a half, 2 years, or whenever there was like a cheaper apartment complex that was just built and something else came up that made sense or whatever it was, we were constantly
It's just how it is.
like weaving and dodging the potential financial calamity of being upper lower class. When I say upper lower class, it's really we were able to survive even with food stamps at times, but we were able to survive without ever having been on the streets or not eating for days or whatever like that. So I think that's an upper lower class situation to be in.
we never had that issue. My mom always had a good job, and there was some lean times, but for the most part she was steadily employed, and it was mostly me and my mom, and I saw my dad off and on holidays and stuff like that, but he stayed around in Victoria, and I went where she went. So
Yes.
That's what that was.
Yes, it is interesting how it tends to work that way when couples separate, that the kids tend to end up staying with the mom more often than the dad, unless there's some real issue with the mom.
Yeah.
And in ways it makes sense. I always even though me and my ex-wife, we lived in different states on and off for a lot of times. I always took care of them, in a monetary, way, and did my best to get back and forth as often as possible, because I knew how much it would have meant to me if my dad would have gone out of his way sometime just to show up for my birthday every
Yeah.
year, or whatever. And so, I mean, there was even times when my daughter's birthday was coming up, because I never missed one of her birthdays, as she was growing up,
Yeah.
until she became like a teenager, and it wasn't as big of a deal to her. But there was times when I had to turn down jobs because I would have had to have missed my daughter's 12th birthday or
Yeah.
something. And I'm like, you know what? It's more worth it to me to
be
go to
there.
my her 12th birthday. And if they can push the job back 5 days or 3 days, and for me to be able to do that, if they can't, I'm gonna have to say
Yeah.
no. But do you and your father have a decent relationship now?
No, not really.
No.
I mean, the last time I saw him was a few years ago after my sister's funeral.
Oh, okay.
So, and yeah, we're not really particularly
Yeah.
close. More close with my mom's, my stepdad. But my mom passed
Okay.
away in 2014.
Oh, I'm sorry
So-
to hear that, man. I mean,
She died peacefully. I mean, that's
Oh,
as,
okay.
as best as anybody can hope for.
Is that the truth?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I miss her, but I'm
course.
glad she didn't suffer or anything. She just passed away in her sleep.
I mean, it's strange, but I know what you mean. I would rather lose a loved one in such a fashion anytime
Yeah.
than have to go through, 6, 9, 12 months, years of horrible, slow deterioration. And I mean, I have some family who have some, family that's not really directly related to me that are in the hospice type of care, and it's just absolutely sad the way those
Yeah.
facilities are set up.
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
And
So it was a blessing in a way.
yeah, but it was a rough.
But-
I mean, it wasn't. From there on, it was a rough year because we got married in January 2014, and then when my mom passed, it was literally the day after Mother's Day.
Oh,
So it was rough. I mean, like I woke up. It was probably like 6 in the morning. My cousin called, and my wife, told me in bed, I was like, "Hey, your mom passed away," and I was like, "You're messing with me, right? This is a joke."
yeah.
And not that you would joke like that. Of
course.
And then it was just rough. I mean,
Were you happy that you had someone in your life
Yes.
at that, especially at that time?
Mhm.
That, I mean, what a void that must have been filled by
it-
your wife.
having her in my life has been one of the most awesome blessings that I could ever have. And I never would have thought me and her would have got married. And
Wow.
we did. And I've had a lot of health issues over the past couple of years, and she's been wonderful. I mean, I don't know how she puts up with me. I think it's because I whip out a new dish to cook for her every year, and I keep her happy that way.
That's
So-
good. That's the old carrot in front of the donkey trick.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I can't say enough to how wonderful she is.
So but going back to your
Yeah.
youth, though, when you were really young, you said that you were a bit of a vivacious type.
I like to get in trouble.
Now, and in a town of about 150,000, but you said you moved around a whole lot.
Yeah. So, just
So what was it? Yeah, what was that like in terms of being able to try and make quality friendships or have
it was tough.
a social
It was
circle?
tough. I could make friends, but it was tough. I mean, you're moving from one place to another. Like I said, my best friend that I met in 7th grade, along with her, I've kept in touch with him through the years. So, I mean, that's probably the one relationship that's really stayed.
Yeah.
I didn't see her for 20 years, and then
Wow.
then boom.
Wow.
So him and his family, and there's been a few here and there, throughout the years, but not like him. So
Yeah.
he's my best friend.
That's great. And even though the moving around and all of that is challenging and it can lead to certainly behavioral issues in that constant, back and
Yeah.
forth and new schools and new people and, always having to reinvent yourself, which can be fun at times,
But it can grow up to be tedious.
It can grow to be tedious. Do you think that in any way, though, that has made you a stronger person?
More or less. I mean, yeah. I think so.
I mean, so if something were to happen, for instance, and some change had to take place, and you had to move from here to a different city, like say for a better job or a different.
As long as I had her with me, I think I could weather any storm.
Yeah.
So, but we have a comfortable life, and I'm happy.
Oh, I know.
I truly am. Like I said, she makes everything great. And I do not deserve her.
Well, you must because you got her.
It's the carrot.
It's the carrot.
Perpetual carrot.
Yeah, you just dip it in some barbecue sauce, get it back out there.
Exactly. But yeah, no, it's all that helped. You know, growing up and moving around, and you know, my mom's discipline did rub off on me and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, by the time I got out of military school and I turned 16, I got a job at, you know, HEB bagging groceries. And,
That's great.
You know, from there on out, she really didn't have to bug me to do my schoolwork or anything like that. It's kind of like, I need to get this done and get this done to not get hassled.
Yeah,
So,
sure. And then at that time when you kind of transferred back out of military school into regular life again, were you starting to think in long-term survival concepts, or were you still just thinking like a teenager?
A little bit of both, you
Yeah.
know. I was like, I had she put a down payment on a truck for me so I could go to work, and I would pay the car note every month, and she would pay the insurance. You know,
that's
it's
a great
so much out
deal.
of my check every week because you get paid weekly at HEB.
Uh-huh.
And so that's what we did, and you know, I had to think, I need money for this, I need money for this. Or when I go out, I need money for that. But when you work, you don't really go out that much.
Yes, it's true. Well, you learn to respect how far you can stretch a dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And that's, you know, she was really. What was really interesting is by the time I was a junior in high school, you know, I'd had a job for a while, so we lived in Benbrook,
Okay.
which is a suburb of Fort Worth, and there was an HEB in Cleburne, so I transferred from the Victoria store to the Cleburne. That was 30 miles away, and she was, you know, I didn't have a curfew, which was weird for a teenager, and I mean, it wasn't going to go anywhere but work. So,
Right.
I mean, she gave me a lot of trust for such a young person. You know, I could take trips from Fort Worth to Del Rio, or you know, San Antonio, Del Rio, go see my best friend. She would let me do that.
And it's actually really great because when somebody does grant you that kind of beingness and gives you that kind of trust, to me, it makes me want to be responsible for it at that point.
Yeah, at that point, I didn't really have anything to rebel against or be wild. It's like,
It was over?
yeah, it's pretty much over. You know, I had teachers I didn't get along with, and usually it was the teachers that thought they were high and mighty and stuff. Like, this is one teacher my senior year, we had switched schools. Like, one semester I was at one school in Del Rio, and then we moved back because my mom got transferred back to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So I was stuck between two different, you know, English 4 classes, right?
Right.
So we were doing Beowulf in Del Rio, and then like Pygmalion in Fort Worth, and I just not like the teacher, and we didn't get along, so they offered a credit by exam through Texas Tech. And I told my mom, I was like, hey, if I pay for this, can I take this? She said, it's your money, you do what you want. So I read the book that they gave me, took the test, got a 97, walked out of the class after I gave the note.
That's great.
I was like,
That's slick.
I was like, I'm out. This is a free period for me now. It's like, bye, I'm done with you.
So when at what point did you start? I mean, because we don't have to talk about what you do for a living or anything like that.
No.
You can suffer whatever anonymity you would like. It's fine. You know, but I am interested in you know, at what point you became driven to find some type of career or stability, you know, in a business world or in a working world, whatever you're doing.
Probably around 2001.
Uh-huh.
I looked for something steady, and you know, I was on my own. And you know, at that point, you need insurance, you need a steady paycheck, and you need a safe place to work, and that's what I was looking for. And you know, it was probably really super driven between 2001 and 2007. And I got laid off. I used to work at Citibank a long time ago,
Uh-huh.
and then that kind of hit me. I'd never been laid off before, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were transitioning jobs to India.
Oh yeah.
But it's a bank. That kind of thing happens all time.
Yeah, of course.
And then after that, I kind of just went where the money was. You know,
Right.
I worked a lot of call centers.
Okay.
So that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I did that, and
That's a tough job.
yeah, yeah.
It's a tough job having to deal with people, or especially if you're cold calling or anything like that.
No, it was
Nothing
all
like that.
It was all inbound.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I was at Citi for a long time. Citigroup in Irving, Texas. So I was there for 4 years. That was probably the longest.
That's a good. It's a good solid gig, though, right?
Yeah, it was nice. It
Yeah.
was a nice facility, nice place to work. You know, good benefits. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, after that, you know, I took a little downtime. I had severance pay and
Yeah.
kind of visited my mom because I worked. You know, I'd work a lot, so I didn't really go see her because it's a 6-hour drive to see my mom.
Sure.
So she worked and I worked, and I spent some time with her and visiting friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
Yeah. 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 It is great.
And then after that, I worked pretty steadily up till 2011, and then my mom and stepdad offered me the opportunity to go back to college and not work. And I did that for a few years,
What were you studying?
psychology.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized everybody's crazy, and that's scary. No, it's a really fascinating subject to study. You know, what
Sure,
people
certainly.
think, how they act, and you know, it's used throughout everything. And then, but you know, I got really sick in 2013. I was hospitalized, and just issues with my heart and sleep apnea. And I won't go into everything.
Yeah,
but
of course.
It, you know, just it got to be too much. So
Was there, in leading up to that, were you under any kind of other types of pressures or stresses or anxieties or anything,
Not
or do you
really.
think it just kind of came out of nowhere?
I think that the health issues came from is mostly sleep apnea. It's
Yeah.
undiagnosed sleep apnea, and if I hadn't gone to the hospital when I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't be here.
Really?
Yeah. So
See, I don't really know what sleep apnea is exactly. I mean, I hear it
it's
often.
where you
but-
don't sleep. It's basically you have obstructed air passages and you basically suffocate. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Oh,
Like, you don't-
wow.
Yeah. So, you'll gain weight, you'll be tired. stuff
So
like
even
that.
though you're you're never
Yeah,
in
you're never
a deep
REM,
sleep.
yeah.
In a deep REM sleep. Yeah.
So let
that
me-
was alpha, beta, gamma, delta.
So, let me give you an example. I would toss and turn before my CPAP machine. That's where you put it on and it forces the air down. First night I had my CPAP machine, I slept for like 5 hours straight. Like it always takes me a little while because I'm kind of a night owl, or
Yeah.
I used to be before I got married, and
Yeah.
that slowly got whittled down because my wife goes, she's early bird.
Yeah.
She'll go to bed about 9 o'clock, which is fine. There's
Yeah.
nothing happening for us.
Sometimes I do too.
Yeah, and so I would just sit there and read or watch videos, or movies until I fall asleep. And then finally, I got the sleep study done, got the CPAP machine. I slept 5 hours straight. She thought I was dead,
What?
so I didn't move. I was sleeping that soundly.
Oh, that must have felt great.
It did, and then it got to the point to where I was sleeping more and more, and then I was sleeping so deep. And this is a funny story. I'll share this.
Yeah.
I always share this with everybody. I was sleeping on my side, and then apparently in the middle of the night, she turns over and whacks me with her arm. She didn't pay attention. She just
Yeah.
And so I woke up in the morning. She had gone to work, and like I had this headache all day, no bruise or nothing, just hurt right here.
Yeah.
And I just sat there all day, and I was taking like Tylenol and trying to get rid of the ache. And then she got home. I was like, my head really hurts. I don't really. She's like, where does it hurt? I was like, right here. I was like, oh, I mean, I whacked you in the middle of the night. It's like, and you just gonna let me sit all day and not tell me. But she's funny that way.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. I mean, it's a stupid story, but my buddy had a story of there was a girl that he had been after for so long. I mean, for so long, and he. I wish this had happened to me because it's one of those stupid funny stories, the National Lampoon story. But so he finally, gets her to start kind of dating him and stuff like that, and then she's like, yeah, you can stay over. You just get, like being all like very, very like peculiar. Because she, he was
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna make this happen. So he has a sleepover with her, and whatever he had eaten that was just killing him, and so he had a really bad case of gas, but he didn't want it. He didn't know what to do. He was like, how do I get out of, like, do I go and leave the room?
Yeah.
Do I go? What do I do? And so he's just holding, and he thought, okay, maybe I can let it out silently.
No,
and he
that
attempted
never
it.
happens.
He attempted it, and it started coming out in a squeak.
Yeah.
And so then he clenched up, and it just machine gunned out. It was like, and so and he could hear her stir awake and stuff. And so he just like pretended he was still asleep. He was like, and just went to sleep and stuff.
We had
And he was so embarrassed he never went on a date with her again. He like slithered out in the morning and was like, that was it.
We had something like that happen before we were married. I'm not sure if I was living with her yet or not, or if I was just visiting for a holiday. Because she was living in Round Rock, I was living in Plano, which is up by Dallas.
Yeah.
And this is when I ate really badly. Now she monitors what I eat because I can't have a lot of salt and this and that, which we've gotten to a happy medium.
Yeah.
And I had like Taco Bell taquitos.
Oh, yeah.
Or not Taco Bell, 7-Eleven, and then Taco Bell. And just, oh my God, dude. I didn't even hide it. I just released it. And then this is the old house in Round Rock, and she went to the kitchen. She's like, oh my God, I smell it in here. It's like, sorry.
It's such a stupid thing. I mean, farts are just hilarious. I don't care. Sometimes I think about really wealthy, aristocratic, high bar people who like, and I just wonder, like, does the queen, when she's there, does she sometimes squeak out a little something? She's like, oh,
It's like, oh, this is a chair.
that was the chair. Oh God, there's just nothing funnier. I don't know what it is. For thousands of years, people have to be laughing at that. It's
teenage boy humor.
Yeah, it totally is.
It's
It totally
the same
is.
humor that Beavis and Butthead. Teenager. I still love Beavis and Butthead, and I'm 41, dude.
Yeah.
It's just that toilet bowl humor.
Well, yeah, I'm a Family Guy, like, American Dad person who sometimes, it's my guilty pleasure. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll watch a couple of these.
Yeah.
Like, look out my window, make sure nobody's seeing me. Like, all right, American Dad, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't watched Family Guy in a long time. I think it just, I don't know, it kind of got boring after a while. And then I liked American Dad. That was funny for a while. But I don't know, they started just kind of running on. But I like, Seth MacFarlane, the Orville, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the people are trying to get you on the Orville, which I think that would be a fit.
Well, I auditioned a couple of times for it, but whatever. I'm shadow banned from Hollywood. What can I say? That's the way it goes.
I mean, you got a quality actor.
Thank you, brother.
I mean, I grew up with you, man. I had Parker Lewis, and then I remember you in The Stand. I didn't really watch Stargate because that's, I was working, man.
Right.
I would see you on the TV at work because we would have pods with like 3 monitors, which they were wired for local TV stations, and that's Stargate would air on like, I want to say Fox or something. I can't remember.
It
was 2000. From 2003 to 2007, so it's somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between there, yeah.
Yeah, so I would see, I was like, hey, it's Parker Lewis and Stargate.
That's right.
So, yeah, I agree.
That was a great gig. Yeah, working Stargate was so much fun, man. It's such a great team of creative people on that show for sure.
And it went for a long time.
It went for a very long time. And speaking of farts, that was Chris Judge's favorite thing to do on set was to right before they would call action, he would just cut like a really loud, ridiculous fart, and you're just like, and they're like, so they'd be like, roll camera and action, and you just have to sit there and just go right into character and ignore that it happened. But I learned very quickly that that in the rehearsal process, I would always position myself off to one side or the other of him, or preferably facing him from the other direction, because the first couple of episodes that I did, I learned very quickly, don't walk behind Chris Judge in a scene.
I would say not. But yeah, I was really surprised when I saw you on Supernatural, because she actually got me hooked on Supernatural. As when we were dating and we were going back and forth, and then she was there watching season 7, and it was one of the episodes, and I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, it is well done.
So then it was right before the 8th season, and I was trying to do this, shotgun 7th season of Supernatural like 2 months before the 8th season
Right.
aired. And when I got to the 6th season, it's like, oh, Parker Lewis is in Supernatural. I was like, all right.
What's up, buddy?
I was like, wow. And it was like, it's so different. Like, I was really impressed how dark you got
Yeah.
playing that role. I mean, you were kind of, at first, you're kind of, quiet, and then the later parts you get really dark.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you were a demon, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler,
Spoiler.
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, you probably should.
Well, that being said, when to shift gears back to so we can we can wrap this up and get onto that smoking barbecue over there. I'm starving. What I am interested, because you've gone through the medical challenges and all of that. That there has to be something that drives you and keeps you positive. All of that. Is there something that you could share with everybody that somebody out there might be able to take home with them? As a positive message about overcoming difficulties.
A lot of the stuff that I've dealt with, I've made it through because of her, and a large reason that I do it is because of her. And I mean, I can give up, I can stop taking my meds and get worse, but I want to stick around with her for a little while longer.
So it seems like that perhaps challenging ourselves to partake in a successful and healthy relationship in order to help keep ourselves going and better and all that. Because I know I've been out of a relationship for so long, I can't even recall the last time I had any kind of real relationship, and I know that I don't take care of myself the way that I should, for sure. And I think that's really positive advice to, put ourselves aside for somebody else in order to benefit ourselves in the process.
I also think if I have this tendency to push myself, and I really shouldn't as much as I do, but I feel that once I stop pushing myself, I'm going to fall into a rut and then never get out of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like this, I wear a medical pump for my heart.
Gotcha.
And I get subcutaneous pump that gives me, pumps med through, and part of the side effects is fatigue and pain.
Really?
Yeah.
Like nerve pain type stuff, or?
It's, kind of, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Almost like an electrical kind of like
Just
weird,
I have peripheral neuropathy in my feet because
Okay.
I'm a diabetic, but not.
Okay.
I don't take insulin.
Yeah.
So I have,
borderline basically.
Yeah,
whatever
and
it's
so
called.
this kind of amplifies it. So pain is something I have to deal with, but I'm happy. I'm not gonna say I'm happy, but I will deal with the pain to be with her.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful message. And that is a beautiful way to end this. He will deal with the pain to be with her. I love it, man. Thank you so much for sharing
Thanks for coming
some
out.
of your life with us.
Absolutely.
And I hope everybody out there got to learn a little bit too. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to eat with us, but I'm going to eat enough for all of you.
We'll post pics.
That's right.
Maybe.
And we're... Oh, look at this. Look at that rack. That is quite a rack, my friend.
Thank you. And to please. A little smoke ring.
Oh. We're gonna eat this, Riz. It's gonna be so good. Love you guys. Love America Tour 2020. Coming your way.
From Texas.